to Leadership Beyond Burnout. This is the sanctuary for leaders who are done pretending everything's fine while they silently run on fumes. Here, we explore what it truly means to heal, lead, and succeed without sacrificing your soul or sanity. In each episode, we invite bold, brilliant minds who've navigated burnout, breakthrough, and bold reinvention. Today, I'll be that guest. Now, this isn't just leadership as usual. This is the revolution of the resilient. And you're invited to just pull up to the fire and have a seat with us. So let's dive in. Today, we are going to talk about boundaries not needing an invitation. Because you don't need to announce your boundaries. You need to embody them. This is going to be revolutionary, but think of it. People don't respect what you say. They respect what you hold, what you embody. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to believe. Most of my women leaders have asked me this question. And it's been consistent over the past 25 years, whether they were counseling clients or whether they were coaching clients or just friends. How do I get respect? How do I get people to respect my boundaries? That's more consistent. How do I get them to respect my boundaries? But that's not the question they should be asking. The question that I reflect back to them is, do you, and yes, I'm talking to you, do you respect your boundaries? Most of the time, you were trained to keep the peace, not to keep yourself, to be a good girl and make everybody happy. Your burnout isn't your fault. It's your signal. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change that situation because no one has your best interests at heart like you do or like you should. So I repeat, boundaries aren't announcements. Boundaries are not performances. They're not performative. They don't require an audience, not a single soul. If you're engaging in explaining your boundary, what you're really doing is negotiating it. You're not explaining. The moment that you begin to rehearse your boundary for their comfort, how can you make it more palatable for them? You lose yours. I'm going to repeat that. The moment that you rehearse your boundary for their comfort, right? You want to get it just right to make sure that they don't get offended, that they hear you, that they understand, that they accept what you're putting down. They're picking up everything you're putting down. The moment you rehearse your boundary for their comfort, you lose yours. Let's talk about the truth about respect. People don't respect boundaries because you say them. They're just words. They respect them because you keep them. You respect yourself enough to keep the boundaries you've set for your psychological peace. Most boundaries don't fail because we break them, right? We break them first. I said that wrong, excuse me. Most boundaries fail because we break them first. So there aren't little boundary fairies out there who are just like, oh, let's cut our boundary, let's make it fail. No, we disrespect it. Self-trust is the backbone of boundary success. When we trust ourselves, when we don't have to ask permission to keep us safe, that's when the boundaries flourish. That's how they succeed. The real work of embodiment is when your nervous system believes that the boundary is truly safe, that you are going to be a good steward of what you said you needed for yourself. Consistency will create that respect. Your energy speaks louder than words, my dear. Your no must feel true in your body, not just your mouth. So you're going to have to do work to really believe that in your nervous system. I want to introduce to you a system that can help you when you begin to embody your boundary to ensure that you consistently enforce it with yourself. Pause, clarity, consequence, and consistency. In pause, you choose when or even if to respond. Because sometimes we don't need to be responding to everything. We just need to show our actions. Clarity. That was my little dog, excuse me. Clarity is, what do you actually want? That's a question that we often don't ask ourselves. What is it that we actually want and need? Consequence is your follow through matters. What you do after you're clear and you understand what you want, your ability to follow through with that is important. Consistency, now this is where your respect is earned. Because if you flip-flop back and forth, sometimes you respect your boundaries, sometimes you don't. No one believes that. Boundaries don't control other people. It reveals them. Because how they respond to your efforts to protect yourself. Now, keep in mind, you don't have to do this alone. Most women, especially those in leadership, they know their boundaries. They just don't feel safe holding them because of whatever scripts are running through their head about their autonomy and whether or not they get to own, enforce, and embody those boundaries. Now, this is why I created Phoenix Rising. Because I've seen the struggle that women in leadership, women in general, have consistently over the past 20, 25 plus years that I've been working with people, with women. Now, if this is landing for you, make sure you join VIP Access. Become a VIP. I'm going to put it in the comments so that you can join VIP Access. This is where you rest, reset, and rise. This is for the version of you who keeps shrinking and is tired of doing so. You deserve boundaries that hold and peace that lasts. It's time to choose yourself today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not at the beginning of the year when you set your resolution. Choose yourself today. I am inviting you to engage with me. I'm having an orientation at the time of this recording. This upcoming Sunday is going to be November 23rd. Join this orientation. I'm going to give 3 free breathwork sessions to help you begin to regulate that nervous system and begin to engage in that healing and release some of those feelings and experiences that you have that continually dysregulate you and your body. Your rise begins now. So stop asking, how do I get people to respect my boundaries? You don't. You don't make people respect them. You don't force people into compliance. You trust yourself. You trust yourself enough to enforce your own boundary. Like I said before, most of us were raised to be palatable, agreeable, or the one who smooths things over to make everybody okay, to make them feel welcome. You're not broken, even though you might feel that way. You're not broken. You were trained. But that training is what's burning you out. Today, I'm going to teach you how boundaries actually work in your nervous system some more, in your relationships and in your leadership. Because the boundary myth we've been sold somewhere along the way, boundaries, like I said, they became scripts, speeches, dramatic announcements. This is what I've seen. I've seen this in real life when someone wants to enforce a boundary. Hey, everyone, I just want to let y'all know, from now on, I will no longer insert whatever it is. For some, I've seen that say, oh, I'm no longer going to answer the phone after 9 p.m. or answer text messages after 9 p.m. But they get that text message and they reply anyway. They get that call and they might even let it ring and go to voicemail, but then listen to the voicemail and just call back and just say, hey, I don't have a lot of time. I usually don't do this, but you just diminished yourself. It shows up as like saying, oh, well, I can't help you with that. That's not my role. That's not what I do. But then you watch them struggle and then you just step in just a little bit to help out of guilt. When you announce and say, I'm unavailable for whatever, but your need to overfunction, it just kicks in because you see someone feeling disappointed. That's all performative. You're not respecting yourself. Like I said, boundaries are about self-trust, not scripts. So once again, the real question is not, how do I get them to respect my boundaries? It's, do I trust myself enough to hold it? Even when somebody else doesn't like it. You earned your leadership. You earned your voice. You remember those late nights? You earned it. And we've got to get to the place where we realize we don't have to earn our peace. We don't have to earn our rest. We don't have to have a certain amount of output to feel safe. We don't have to run ourselves ragged and into the ground to receive healing and take care of ourselves. This idea that you owe other adults' explanations is a lie because you don't. And I don't care who that adult is. You don't owe them explanations. Your kids, your family members, your mama, your daddy, your sister, whoever it is. When you begin to trust yourself, your tone changes. You don't have to be hard. Your energy changes. The way you feel when you enter a room is just different. People don't even try because they know you respect yourself. Your decisions begin to change. And that's the psychological safety other people respond to, not the announcement. Remember, I will no longer, that means nothing. So let's stop doing that now. The real boundary work is embodiment, not announcements. Let's start with how to do that real boundary work. Embodiment. This is when your nervous system has to believe the boundary is safe before your mouth can enforce it, before your behavior can enforce it. So imagine that if you are beginning to internally just panic, you just feel all these cats just scratching at your stomach, and that's my word for anxious feeling when your cats are scratching in your stomach. If you are experiencing that internal panic while saying no, your body is betraying you. Your body doesn't believe it, and the people witnessing it, they're not going to believe it either. So you need some alignment, right? Enforcement. This is saying it once means nothing, right? This is like when I am going down the road driving, and I hope police aren't listening right now. You can pretty much guess I'm a speed demon. And if I see a cop once, that's not going to keep me consistently driving the speed limit. But if they are there every day, when I travel by, that's going to be consistent enforcement. Holding it consistently means everything. Saying it once means nothing. Doing it once means nothing. It's consistency that is key. Also, your energy needs to be consistent. People feel your no before they hear it, before you say it. You can whisper a boundary and someone can still feel it if your energy believes it, if it's consistent. Because you can shout a boundary and someone will ignore it. Haven't you seen that performance so many times? Dang, I'm tired, or whatever it is. That's usually personal. That doesn't usually show up at work like that. But that shouting, that angriness to get someone to just back off, it doesn't work. They just wait for you to cool down and then violate that boundary because you don't enforce it. That difference is embodiment. I want you to think about these scenarios, and if you were enforcing your energy is consistent, if you were embodying your boundary. Imagine that family member who drains you. How might you handle that differently? Energy, enforcement, embodiment. That coworker who oversteps. How might you handle that differently? So many times when we have a coworker that oversteps, our nervous system is often almost like shocked, and we are just witnessing and watching this, expecting them to somehow understand, oh, you're violating my space, or you're giving me these suggestions and I don't want them, and you have maybe a funny posture, this look on your face, but you're not doing anything different. Think about how to embody it when a partner dismisses your needs. What are you going to do differently? So just ponder that and see how you can engage differently and trust yourself to be different. Boundaries aren't about fixing people. I don't know how much to emphasize that. They're about revealing who people become when you stop abandoning yourself. They interact with you differently. You know what? You don't have to do this alone, though, like I said. Most women know their boundaries. They just don't feel safe holding them because you truly weren't taught how to do so. And that's another reason that I built Phoenix Rising, to help you rest, reset, and rise into the version of you who trusts herself again, or maybe even just trust yourself for the first time. It's about time, isn't it? Now, if this conversation is landing for you, if you're sitting here thinking, yes, this is exactly what I needed, what I needed to hear, what I need to invite into my life, what I need to embody, then become a VIP. Join VIP Access. Get on the Phoenix Rising list. I am going to share it in the comments. You'll be able to find it. If you don't see it in there for some reason, please DM me. I'll make sure you get onto it. I'd love for you to get into the orientation and get these free breathwork sessions, some free guided imagery, and another goodie that I have for you. I have 3 goodies when you become a VIP. Because listen, this version of you that keeps shrinking to keep the peace is exhausted. And she deserves better. If you're ready to lead from overflow and not from obligation, become a VIP. Join the VIP Access. Don't wait for permission. Don't announce your boundary. We're going to stop doing that. Just choose yourself. It's time. So I'll see you inside Phoenix Rising VIP Access. This is where your rise begins. And let's take this out of your lexicon. You're not mean. You're done. The boundary is for you, not them. Stop negotiating your peace. Respect starts from within. That reminds me of Lauryn Hill when she says, respect is just a minimum. I forget what that song is, but she says respect is a minimum. Say this with me. I choose me. And if I didn't say it, this VIP access is complimentary in Phoenix Rising. You're going to get a taste of what it's like to become a Phoenix, to be in Phoenix Rising. Because I know that we're having some challenging economic times. You may be beginning to feel the burden to take care of others who are experiencing that. And that's why I wanted to provide some free group access. So I'll see you inside of VIP. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Dr. Kimberly L. Wilson. You'll find us here every Thursday on Leadership Beyond Burnout, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 2 p.m. Pacific. Until next time, we'll see you then.